I actually got my first tattoo when I was 35 years old. And by then I had established myself in my career in technology and was working at Microsoft. And I had a job where I traveled a lot in a professional setting, so I was always wearing long sleeve shirts and sometimes a coat and tie. So basically when I dressed for work, no one would know I ever had a tattoo. I don't have any tattoos on my hands or face, so literally you wouldn't know that I had 2 full sleeves of tattoos, or that I had a full back piece tattooed, or that my legs were mostly tattooed. In fact, I waited until I was 52 years old to get my neck tattooed because I didn't want a visible tattoo to be seen in a professional level setting like my job. I didn't want to be immediately judged by our customers or potential customers, but it's 2024. Is the stigma of having visible tattoos a hindrance in today's world? Does having tattoos create an immediate bias from your customers or coworkers in a corporate world? So in today's One Person podcast, let's dive a little deeper into that topic. In today's dynamic professional world, cultural norms are continually evolving, reshaping what is deemed accessible in various environments. Tattoos, once perceived as a mark of rebellion or deviance, have gradually translated and transitioned into a form of self-expression for millions of people. While the world has become more accepting of tattoos, the workplace in particular, in professional and corporate settings, presents a unique battleground where differing views on tattoos still persist. I want to explore both sides of the debate. Why tattoos are increasingly accepted, especially in industries like technology, and why they may still be considered a poor choice in more traditional corporate settings. Tattoos are far from a modern invention. Ancient cultures such as Egyptians and Polynesians and Romans practiced tattooing for various purposes, from religious rituals to marks of status and identity. Over time, tattoos have evolved from being associated with sailors or gang members or counterculture movements to becoming a mainstream form of artistic and personal expression. Today, about 30% of Americans have at least one tattoo, according to a 2023 report. This statistic reflects a cultural shift in the acceptance of tattoos across generations, particularly among millennials and Gen Zs, who view tattoos not as symbols of rebellion, but as a valid medium for self-expression and artistry and even storytelling. The corporate workplace traditionally has been a lot more conservative and has been slow to fully embrace tattoos, but the increasing prevalence of inked employees has led to changes in this perception, particularly in fields that emphasize creativity, individuality, and innovation. The tech industry, where I obviously work, is a prime example of an environment where tattoos are more accepted, if not embraced. IT professionals, from software engineers to developers, often work in environments where creativity, technical skills, and innovation thinking are valued more than appearance. I think there are several factors that contribute to the tech society's industry of openness toward tattoos. In IT, professionals are judged primarily on their technical prowess and their problem-solving abilities and their contributions to innovation. This sector is known for its results-driven values, which place very little emphasis on traditional dress codes or appearance. As a result, tattoos are seen as irrelevant to job performance in IT. The tech industry embraces a culture of individuality and creativity, often almost shunning the conservative norms that dominate other sectors. Many employees are encouraged to bring their authentic selves to work, and tattoos are often seen as a reflection of this individuality. The tech industry is made up mostly of millennials and Gen Z workers, 2 generations that are now most likely to have tattoos. Let's face it, there are less and less gray-haired dudes like me working in IT. Younger employees see body art as a form of self-expression and are less likely to perceive tattoos as unprofessional. Startup and tech firms typically maintain more relaxed dress codes. Employees can wear casual clothing, which may naturally expose tattoos. This dress code flexibility reflects a broader acceptance of personal style, including body art. I didn't start working with short sleeves in front of customers until I actually started working at Zoom. So according to my vast research, which really just entailed me asking ChatGPT, was that in fields such as advertising, design, fashion, and entertainment, tattoos are often seen as extensions of one's artistic ability and identity. For creatives, self-expression is essential, and tattoos are a visible representation of personal style, ideas, even professional skills in visual arts. In these industries, individuality is celebrated, and tattoos are frequently viewed as testament to their creative mind. Creatives often see their bodies as canvases, so it's no surprise that tattoos are common. These industries value innovation and unconventional thinking, and tattoos align with that. Thoughts of originality. I always wanted to have tattoos, but I was too afraid of being shunned by the corporate world as well as society. So it wasn't until I was older where I was comfortable enough with myself to even consider it. Now, some say I might have gone too far, but at 53, I don't really care too much about what people think about my tattoos. I like them, and that's good enough for me. In fields where personal branding is key, such as fashion or entertainment, tattoos can help individuals actually stand out. For example, celebrities, fashion designers, or even influencers may use their body art to cultivate a distinct personal brand that aligns with their work. Think of Jelly Roll or Machine Gun Kelly or even me. Much like the IT industry, the creative arts sector often rejects the formality of the corporate world. As a result, employees and artists in their fields are often encouraged to present themselves in ways that feel authentic to them. Despite growing acceptance in creative and tech industries, many sectors of the corporate world are slower to adopt a lenient stance toward visible tattoos. In environments where professional appearance and client perception are paramount, tattoos may still be viewed as unprofessional or distracting. In traditional corporate environments like law or finance and government, professionalism is still tied closely to appearance. Employees are actually expected to adhere to conservative dress codes that emphasize uniformity, and visible tattoos can clash with these expectations. Here's why I think tattoos might not be welcomed in such industries. So in sectors like banking, consulting, and law, employees often interact directly with clients, many of whom hold more conservative views. For older generations or clients from certain cultures, for example, tattoos may carry negative connotations, such as associations with criminal behavior, rebellion, or lack of professionalism. Employees are often expected to project an image that aligns with the company's values and culture, which means visible tattoos may be frowned upon. Corporate environments tend to value conformity as it projects reliability, trustworthiness, and professionalism. And tattoos, particularly those that are large or highly visible, like on your face or hands, may be seen as distracting from that polished, uniform image. Some companies may worry that employees with visible tattoos won't fit the mold of what clients expect from professionals in high-stake industries like law or finance. Many corporate environments are led by older generations, including baby boomers and Generation X, who may hold more traditional values about tattoos, let's be honest. While millennials and Gen Zs are pushing for greater acceptance, corporate leadership and older clients may still view tattoos as unprofessional or indicative of a lack of seriousness. Many corporations have formal or informal policies regarding appearance. While outright bans on tattoos are becoming less and less common, companies may still have guidelines that require employees to cover up visible tattoos, especially in client-facing roles. This obviously reflects a broader desire to maintain a conservative image that appeals to a wide range of clients and customers. While tattoos may no longer be the taboo they once were, many in the corporate world still perceive potential risks in hiring or promoting employees with visible tattoos. Even though tattoos are more accepted today, some clients, colleagues, or supervisors may still see them as unprofessional. In an industry where reputation and appearance are closely linked to success, tattoos could be perceived as a sign of nonconformity. Corporate leaders may worry about how employees with visible tattoos will be judged by their clients, investors, or other stakeholders. In a competitive market, companies may be reluctant to take risks that could potentially harm their professional image or client relationships. In global companies, tattoos might present cultural challenges. While tattoos are widely accepted in some Western societies, they still may carry negative connotations in other parts of the world. For instance, in Japan, tattoos are often associated with the Yakuza, which is known for their organized crime, and in certain Middle Eastern cultures, they may be viewed as inappropriate or religiously taboo. There's also concern that employees with visible tattoos might face discrimination in hiring or promotion processes. Even if company policies do not explicitly prohibit tattoos, subconscious bias may still exist, potentially affecting the career prospects of tattooed employees in conservative corporate environments. As the workplace continues to evolve, more companies are finding ways to strike a balance between individual expression and maintaining a professional image. Many corporate policies are shifting away from blanket bans on visible tattoos toward more flexible, nuanced guidelines. Rather than imposing strict no-tattoo policies, many companies are adopting a case-by-case approach. Tattoos that are deemed offensive or inappropriate, such as those depicting violence or explicit imagery, may be subject to restrictions, while more benign forms of body art are allowed. Obviously, this can reach into gray areas of what is offensive. I mean, we've all seen sexually explicit tattoos or even racially motivated tattoos. These are easily identified as offensive. But my neck tattoo is of a dead Viking king. Is that offensive? I have a tattoo on my shoulder of an angel in heaven and a devil in hell. Is that offensive? Maybe to some. It's pretty subjective. Some companies differentiate between employees who interact directly with clients and those who work behind the scenes. For instance, a client-facing employee at a law firm might be required to cover up visible tattoos, while someone in a back-office role might not face the same restrictions. Many companies are embracing diversity and inclusion initiatives that encourage employees to bring their own authentic selves to work. These initiatives often include more lenient policies on body art, as long as it aligns with the company values and culture. The growing emphasis on diversity in the workplace is helping to change perceptions around tattoos. Some companies are actually adopting dress for the day policies, which allow employees to adjust their attire based on their daily task. On the days when employees have meetings with clients, they might be expected to cover up tattoos, while some casual days might allow for greater flexibility in appearance. Several high-profile companies have made headlines for their inclusive tattoo policies. For instance, Starbucks, which once required employees to cover tattoos, relaxed its policy in 2014 to allow for visible tattoos, as long as they're not offensive. Other companies such as Amazon and Google have similar lenient policies that reflect their more progressive, tech-driven cultures. These companies recognize that in a competitive job market, attracting top talent requires flexibility and willingness to adapt to changing cultural norms. By embracing tattoos and other forms of self-expression, they can appeal to a broader audience and a more diverse workforce. As societal views on tattoos continue to shift, it's likely that workplaces will become even more accepting of body art in the years to come. However, the pace of change will actually vary across industries and regions, depending on cultural values and client expectations and even corporate leadership. As millennials and Gen Zs ascend into leadership roles, they are likely to bring with them more progressive attitudes toward tattoos. These generations tend to value diversity, authenticity, and self-expression, which could lead to further normalizing tattoos in the workplace. In an increasingly globalized society, companies may need to navigate the cultural differences around tattoos when expanding into new markets, for example. This could then lead to more tailored policies that balance respect for cultural sensitivity and inclusivity and individual expression. As remote work and the gig economy become more prevalent, companies may place less emphasis on appearance and more on skills, creativity, and productivity. This could lead to a broader acceptance of tattoos, even in traditional conservative industries. So to wrap up, tattoos in the workforce remain a topic of ongoing debate. The future of tattoos in the workplace will likely depend on a combination of factors, including generational attitudes, client expectations, and corporate culture. However, the trend is pretty clear. Tattoos are becoming more accepted, and the boundaries of professionalism are expanding to include greater personal freedom and diversity in appearance. As we move forward, the key to navigating tattoos in the workplace lies in finding a balance between self-expression and professional expectations. Both employers and employees will need to work together to create environments that respect individuality while maintaining a professional standards necessary for success. Obviously, as the tattoo nerd, I have fully embraced tattoos and my profession as part of my personal brand, but I do have a limit. I'm not getting a face tattoo or any tattoos on my hands anytime soon. So comment below on what you think. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say about this. And if you like videos like this, please follow me on LinkedIn or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Patrick Kelly, the very tattooed nerd. Have a great day.